actually so busy.
Same. I literally have no time these days.
Just tell me by doing what?
Excuse me? I've been busy, Pranshi.
The only question is with what?
I don't know. Life.
No, because why does every single person nowadays say that, oh my God, I am so busy? And then once you ask them what they've been doing, suddenly the room is silent. They just have no words to tell what's actually been going on.
Okay, stop. That's actually true. Even sometimes when I'm busy, I don't even know what I was busy doing.
Okay, like I've been spending the whole day doing things, but I've got nothing done.
Exactly. And that brings us to today's question. Are we actually productive or are we just pretending to be busy? So, hi everyone, and welcome back to For the Plot, episode 4, where we talk about the conversations that everyone's been thinking about because someone had to say it.
Today, we're going to talk about hustle culture, productivity, social media, and why everyone suddenly has a Notion color-coded template.
And why everyone wakes up at 5 a.m. like the sun isn't even awake, man. Chill, relax.
And joining us today is someone who's probably one of the busiest people we know.
She's the host of the Locked In Pod, the founder of the Youth Corps, a finance student, and somehow manages to juggle all of that while building communities and creating content.
Which makes her the perfect person for this conversation. Risha, welcome to For the Plot.
Hi, you guys. I feel so happy to be here. And I can't wait to let's sit and yap and chill with you guys for the next an hour and a half. So let's go.
All right, we're so glad to have you with us. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so my first question, first off, Risha, you can just get on by answering and then we can just flow into the conversation. So the first question would be, have you ever spent like 2 hours just planning how to be productive instead of actually getting the work done?
I do that every single day. So, you see how we have like these to-do lists. I have a to-do list with 20 different things at the start of the day. And by the time the day ends, it's somehow grown to 25 and still not one thing has been done. So I think half of the time just goes into like mentally preparing yourself to do the work instead of like actually working. So like yeah, all the time.
Amelia, what about you?
Yeah, obviously, I think every person does that to some extent. Um, yeah, every person does that to some extent, and I feel like it's normal. But we should work on kind of reducing the time because I feel like the most difficult thing is to start rather than actually doing the tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. I feel like one of the biggest thing that we can actually do, like the first stepping stone is actually just starting, and that's the hardest part of it all.
Agreed. Okay, for me, I have a different perspective on this. Like, I'm a naturally lazy person. So if I'm actually busy, I usually get things done. And if I'm telling you I had a busy day, I had one. Like, otherwise, then I'm proudly, very proud on my horizontally on my bed. And, sometimes I feel like me existing is also myself calling myself busy.
All right. Okay. Yes,
Pranshi, what
Risha?
about you?
No, I have my days where I feel like, oh my God, I should plan, I should optimize more, and then I feel like I'll work better. But the point of it also being that then I come back to reality and I realize and like I tell myself that, oh, nothing's gonna happen if you make a plan for the next month. Because if I don't get to the work right now, then it's not helping me in any sort of way. All right. Yes. So moving on to one of my next question, which is, does being exhausted actually mean that you've worked hard? What's your take on this, Risha?
It is very subjective. So on certain days, like, you could have done absolutely nothing and just like sit at home and still feel exhausted. And then on the other days you've had like 1,000 things to do and you still feel happy or you still feel like you can do more. So I think it's more about maybe the mood we're in at that time, maybe the sort of day we're having. Maybe, sometimes we have those days where all you want to do is just chill. And so, it just totally depends on like the day, the mood, the vibe, honestly.
I agree. Sometimes being exhausted doesn't automatically mean, oh my God, you've been so productive. Sometimes you're just exhausted because you haven't slept properly, you're not eating properly, you're not drinking properly. Or sometimes, you need to like go drink water genuinely. Working hard is when you feel accomplished afterwards. So I feel like exhaustion and when you achieve something is completely two different things over here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, see, I feel like often now we have really confused being burnt out, being super exhausted, super tired, super drained all the time with the feeling of being productive. Because everybody talks about, oh my God, you should sleep less, you should lock in more, you should, do this, you should do that. And then that's how you're going to make it. And, everybody has really confused the two terms. And it's become like really like if you are extremely tired and if you're like super exhausted and you have like no ounce of energy left in you, that always does not mean that you are being productive. Like, yeah, Risha, as you mentioned that, some days you can do absolutely nothing and then you're still tired. And that's just you being mentally drained. There's
Sometimes
nothing
that's
that
your
you can do.
body just, screaming for help.
Exactly. You
Please
Yes.
sometimes
sleep,
you just need to
please
sleep,
sleep.
guys.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. That's the one thing that like really persists, that's
Also, some days you can just do a lot of work, but like nothing actually gets done, and you're just like mindlessly doing work and being busy. And other days you kind of chilled the whole day, but for like 1 or 2 hours you locked in and you got so much more done. Then in those days where you were just like mindlessly just working.
No, look, Amelia, the thing is, even if you're mindlessly doing work, you're still productive because you're doing work. So you call yourself unproductive.
exactly.
You're not mindlessly doing something.
Mindlessly doing work as in just
No, but
rewriting.
one second. Mindlessly doing work, like you need to have focus when you're working. It doesn't
Exactly, and the
work out.
work will be like
But you still
No,
need
see,
to work at the end of the day.
no, there's a difference between how we are actually, doing the things versus when we're actually not.
Also, team sleep has like a huge aspect to it. Like the day I have not slept well, or maybe like I've slept late, the next day is going to be shit.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just know. And the days I've
100%.
had like a well rested sleep, I'll like do crazy stuff right in the morning. So I think sleep is so underrated yet so important just to our daily life. Is that I think, and I think it is so weird where you say that you have to sacrifice on the most important thing to be to like work hard, but you honestly don't, because if you don't sleep, you won't work hard. Like it's as simple as that.
Exactly. You have to be really well rested in order to function at like your best output. If you, yeah,
Yeah.
but sometimes the thing that happens to me when I've slept less, I get a lot more work done. But when I'm really, really rested,
Sometimes I feel like when I don't sleep like after 12 a.m., that rush of motivation, if you feel, during the time of 12 a.m. to 5 a.m., that's just something different you feel at that time. I don't know. There's some
yeah,
dopamine.
but at the end of the day, being, at the end, it's just not healthy for us to be pulling
Yeah,
that.
you have to sleep anyways.
You need at least 7 hours of sleep. That's like at least.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Actually, fair enough. But like, I don't know. Sometimes it happens with me that when I'm on 6 hours of sleep, some days I'm a lot more productive than I am than on like a good 9 hours of sleep as well. So I don't know. It just happens. It's just weird, anyway. All right, okay. So the next thing would be, have you actually like really exaggerated how busy you are? And like also the one more addition being that why have people actually taken I am so busy as a flex nowadays? Like I don't get how being busy has turned into such a huge flex for everybody, and everybody feels like, oh, they've made it, they're busy.
Think it's not cool to be busy all the time, honestly. Like
Exactly.
I can claim and say I am not the busiest person at all, but I somehow get everything done. So you don't need to like slog for like 14 hours a day, or you don't need to like hustle. You can actually get work done, spend time with your friends and family, relax, chill, sleep, eat, and still like be happy. So you don't need to like sacrifice, I think, either of these four things to like work hard or to achieve something. And yeah, and honestly, like stop being busy, like be free. Honestly, like that is something that I'm starting to learn, and like slowly I'm learning. But I think that is something that a lot of us like take for granted as well.
Oh my God, I realize like embrace boredom. Sometimes just sit without like doing anything. Like, leave your
Yeah.
busyness away and just sit in boredom. I think this is one thing my mom completely keeps saying me. Oh my God, stop being busy. You're not busy. Chill.
Now the one thing I really get, but yeah, go ahead, Amelia.
Go ahead, Francie.
No, no, it's fine. You haven't spoken.
You go ahead.
Okay, yeah, no. So as Zahra mentioned about the being bored part, like my parents have always told me, "Oh my God, Pranch, you cannot sit idle, and you cannot just sit bored." Like when I was a kid, I just really had this problem of I would get bored so easily. I'm like, I'm bored, and my parents like, "How are you so bored? Like, how are you just bored?" And like, I cannot sit bored. That's the one thing. But I feel like it's so important for us to actually take time in our lives and not just pretend to be busy all the time and not be like, oh my God, I'm working, I'm doing this, I have to do that. So it's just this whole trap, and we are stuck in this whole bubble of
Yeah.
the idea of being productive,
The
like
trap. That's the right word.
Genuinely, in this
Yeah.
very fast, hustle-paced life, being free and like having a rest is actually a luxury thing in our lives right now.
I know, right?
Exactly. Sometimes you just need to like watch Netflix and chill, guys.
Yeah.
It is so funny is that being free is the toughest thing to do when somehow it should be the easiest.
Exactly.
Yet, like, it is so simple, but like, why do we not get it?
We overcomplicate
It's
this so
bizarre.
much. I know.
Exactly. And I realized that is um in the past few weeks, I have not had time to speak to my friends. And I was kind of making that excuse for myself that I am busy, I have so much work to do, I have this, and this, so I can't speak to my friends. But that is when I realized that no, my friends are also people who I like speaking to, and like I am happy with them. So why am I sacrificing on that happiness just because I need to get some work done? And now I've learned that just and I wasn't actually doing that much as well. I was just pretending to be busy and making that as an excuse to not speak to my friends, which was wrong. So now I'm like also learning that you have to balance all of these things. Yeah.
Also, one thing that like people really make out is that you have to choose one priority and kind of forget all of the others, but that's not true.
Yeah.
You can't just focus on work and then not do any of the other things. You can't just focus on one thing and then just completely leave out the other things just because you're paying attention and focusing on the one thing that you're doing.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you being busy is not a personality trait. Like someone's not gonna like take you, oh my God, she's so busy, always busy. Like I'd rather know someone who quietly gets things done at and like someone who keeps like constantly telling me, oh my God, I'm busy, so I'm not gonna talk to you.
No, I know, right? Like it is nobody's going to remember you as being the, oh my God, the busiest person ever. Like they're only going to remember you for the person you actually are, and the way you
How
are,
you
the way you
care
spend
about
time
them,
with people
how
and
you give
everything.
them time. Exactly.
Exactly. The one thing that I'd add to this from my own experience, like lately, I've been really stuck into the trap again, I'd say, of thinking that I have to be productive like every single second that I'm awake. I've had this thing constantly on my mind that, oh my God, I have to be productive every hour of the day. And, up until I don't go to sleep, I have to make sure I utilize and do every single thing. But I feel like that's really bothering my mind.
You
And
have
that's
made
not going to work
productivity
out this way.
overrated over here, always.
I know, like, literally, I've convinced my brain into the fact that I have to be productive. Like, bro, I generally don't need to.
Now, coming to this topic over here, what productivity trend do you think is like really overrated in our, you know, world right
Bro,
now?
waking up at like 4 a.m. and like you see those reels where people wake up at 3:30, 4 a.m.
Oh my God, I saw a reel where someone was waking up at like 2:30 a.m.
What?
Yeah, 2:30 a.m.
Sleep.
That's when people sleep.
They're entering the productivity era.
Honestly, like I can't wake up that early. Like I'll even if I try to wake up that early, I'll probably like wake up, drink water, and sleep again because I just like my mind, my body just cannot function at this ungodly hour. It can't like
Okay,
how
even
it.
if, even if I force myself to be awake, it's just my mind just does not clock things during
Yeah, like I wake up at 2:30 and try doing maths. I'm generally gonna get 2 + 2 also wrong, and then
No, okay. If you're waking up at 2:30, I don't know what time you're sleeping in order to do that. But
like
anyway,
yeah.
but that, yeah, 7 p.m. Fair, okay, maybe 7 p.m. or whatever. But like, yes, still, the whole idea of, oh my God, you are gonna the 5 a.m. club actually, and like the 4 a.m. club. people have always made it the thing that if you don't wake up at this time, you're just not going to make it in life. That, oh my God, look at every single one of those CEOs. All of them are a part of the 5 a.m. club. And that's the
Yeah,
reason
but
they've
we also
made.
can't make this wrong. The waking up at 5 a.m. is actually good. It's not bad. It's good.
No,
But
no,
the
it
point of
definitely
morning
It
is.
should not be like a necessity that unless you do
shouldn't
this,
be
Yeah,
a
no,
trend.
see,
you cannot succeed
yeah,
in
no,
life.
see, the thing is, if your mind and if your body are working at the time, and if it's working in your favor and you're actually able to do the work, sure thing, fair enough, really good for you. But if you're not able to, you cannot keep forcing your body in order to do that just because, like, the most popular CEOs in the world do it or whatever. Have you
Yeah.
seen? Yes, Risha, go ahead.
Another thing is, I think it is also about age. Is because my grandfather, he naturally wakes up at like 5:30 every single day. Like that is just how he naturally functions, and like that is just how his day goes. So if like sleeping late for him is like weird, just like waking up early is for us. So even like all of these like CEOs and people you see are probably people in their late 40s and 50s who maybe have that habit of waking up early, but we being Gen Z, being young, we don't have that bone in us. So you compare an apple to an orange just because it's hustle. It's not.
Exactly. And oh my God, have you
Exactly.
seen those videos? Have you seen those videos which talk about that the entire New York City is up by 8 a.m. and you are still in bed and everybody's, and they show the clips of those billionaires' houses and they're like, look, every single one of their lights are on. It's 5 a.m. in New York City.
Okay, I think most of the people also in the 5 a.m., 4 a.m. club, like Risha said, they're like not teenagers. Probably when they were our age, they probably did the same things. So as they've grown to that age, maybe they've matured, maybe their body clock just changed and they naturally wake up at that time. It depends person to person. You cannot say that unless you do this, you will not be successful and like put pressure on a person to just go against their own body and what works for them.
I think one more trend people have also done a lot is matcha. Like you wake up in the morning and drink matcha. I'm not offending any matcha drinkers over here, but like they drink in the morning matcha and they're like, oh my God, I'm so productive, Like I am offending half the internet, I know. But like, entering your CEO era. But I think morning routines though, they help you. Like you having a morning routine, like you getting up, not using your phone just as you just wake up. I think that really helps though.
Okay, wait, now I need to ask, like, how many of, like, which one of you guys, what am I saying? How many of you, like, wait, do you guys actually check up your phone right after you wake up or do you try not to? Risha, what about you?
As much as I want to sound preachy, I can't. I mean, my phone is the first thing my half within self goes to. Like, my hand will naturally just go grab my phone, open in Instagram, scroll reels. But yeah, I mean, I can't get rid of my phones in the morning no matter what. Like, I just can't.
Amelia, what about you?
I try not to, but like I probably just check WhatsApp or something. WhatsApp.
Because you wake up 5 minutes before class and you have no choice but to hop onto a screen.
What
And
is class start at like?
Amelia, you should try the 5 a.m. trend. You really need it.
Oh yeah, you'd
I already
absolutely not.
wake up at like 6:45, so
You
15 minutes before.
Okay, you know what? We're just not going on to Amelia's routine right now. Zara, what about you? iPad check hota hai har subah?
No, I just go to the bar.
oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know.
Let Zahra speak. Let's hear from her. Let's hear her
So
morning.
I wake up at 8 a.m. or around 9:15 or whatever. Then I go to the kitchen and make coffee first. I need coffee to start.
But you don't go to the washroom first. You just go make coffee.
You want me to say that?
Yeah, or no, but like you do whatever. I don't know. You just
You have to
wake
go
up.
like freshen up and like.
No, but going to the bathroom is something default. Can you just go there? I'm not going to say it. I go to the kitchen and make coffee.
It's literally no what you okay, yeah, so you don't check it, but
Let's move on. Let's just move
Let's
on.
move on. Anyways.
No, we're definitely moving on. Anyways, okay. Yeah, so actually I did try something for a week. So what I did was as soon as I woke up, like on my watch, I put like a 30-minute timer to ensure I don't check my phone. And in that time, I just did my morning routine. And then I just read a book.
Actually, the question is it working?
No, I'm saying I did it for a week. I managed to actually do it for a week. And the entire week, I was just reading a book in the time, like the 30-minute timer. And I wasn't scrolling on my phone. But after that, like I did not check my phone right after waking up. But that was only happening when I was giving myself time before I had my classes going on. Because if I'm waking up like 30 minutes before class, I just have to check my phone. Like there is no nothing of me not checking it. So when I did, it was actually so much more better. But the one thing is that I feel like when you look at your phone, you just naturally get more awake. Like, you just look at the screen and the light hits your face and then you just feel awake, which is like the worst thing you can do for your mind, your eyes, or whatever. But yeah, that's honestly really, really bad. Okay. Now moving on to one of like my last questions. So we wrap it all up because we don't want to have it like really, really long. So yep. Do you guys have the guilt sometimes of resting? And if you are like if you are into that mindset that, oh, you have to be locked in, and then you guys, the question is not targeted to Amelia. The only thing stands. But
Like,
like,
it
no.
was the
So
last time, guys.
So now my last question before we wrap all of this up is, does social media make everyone look ahead, make everyone look so productive, so put together? And I feel like also we compare ourselves a lot to the people that we see on the internet. So what is your take on this? That, how has social media actually changed the way we actually live life and the way we are actually seeing things, that, oh, the standards that are being set or the things that are working? Like, what do you think about it?
I think for us specifically, social media is life. Like we spend our entire time either on Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Yevo. Like we spend our lives on that app. And I personally feel, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I feel like when I see people who are cool and who like go out travel a lot, I feel, why am I not doing that? Why am I not cool? And then when I see like people who are very successful, or people who are like, just like cracking down on life, I'm like, why am I not as useful, or why am I not like cool in that sense? So I feel I find myself like split between two halves. One part who just wants to go out, party, travel, and then one part who wants to lock in and like be useful. And I think I see both of those spectrums on my feed every single day. And yeah, and that is just how I look at it. But now I'm trying to like center myself, bring it back to base, and really just focus on what I am doing. So yeah.
I feel also like that it has motivated me and pressurized me in the same time, because sometimes, I'll see someone my age building something amazing and I'm just sitting on my bed eating chips, and it makes me think, like, if they can start it, why can't I also do something? Like, but then some days it becomes comparison. Like, they're already doing this, I'm behind, but you're comparing someone else in their own timeline. You're on a different timeline, they're in a different timeline.
exactly. So the thing is, we can't compare ourselves to the people we see online too much, because what you post online is just like 10% of your actual life. It's just the highlight reels, the best parts of their life is what they post. So you can't compare that to your whole life, all of the struggles that you go through, and say, oh, this person does so much in such little time, and then I'm doing this. Like they went through their own share of challenges to get that. And the result that you're seeing right now is the result of them working that much. So you can't compare yourself like that and put your self esteem down.
Yeah, definitely I'll agree to the point you just mentioned, Amelia, because people only share like a really small fraction of their life on the internet. And then we end up comparing our entire life to them. Like nobody can ever be in your shoes. Nobody can ever face the struggles, the challenges, the issues, the trauma, the everything that you have had. You can never compare it to somebody else. And yes, the other thing also being, we start comparing our day 30 or day 45 to somebody's day 300. Like they've been showing up so much more longer, and we tend to compare ourselves who've just started off. So I feel like that's something all of us really need to start being mindful about. All right, so now the last thing, if nobody could actually see how busy you were, no Instagram, no LinkedIn, no Snapchat streaks, no day in my life vlogs, would you spend your entire time the same way, or like how would it be?
I think honestly, that's the question everyone needs to ask themselves. Because if your productivity disappears the second nobody's watching, maybe it was never productive. Maybe you were just performing in front of like a stage. So instead of saying, oh my God, I have so much to do, that doesn't automatically mean you're making progress. Okay. Like, okay, fine, you have a lot to do. So stop rearranging your Notion for the 15th time, close the productivity videos, and just start.
Yes, that's literally the most important thing. Like,
You should really start.
Exactly that. If you don't think, yes, Risha.
Also, to that, just be. Like,
Yes.
just be. Don't be a creator, don't be a student, don't be like, some fancy ass thing. Just be. Like,
Be a
just breathe,
person.
chill.
Person.
You're, yeah, just like chill, genuinely, just chill.
Oh, I have to apply that a lot more. I genuinely.
Yes, Pranchi, for real.
You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
you have to chill.
Chill.
Yes, Amelia, for sure. And you also have to work. You need to strike a balance, sweetheart.
Well, I'm working, okay. Trust me.
Yes.
Sweetheart.
Okay. Well, that was it for episode 4. Risha, we loved having you so much. It was generally a
Thank you so
super
much.
fun conversation. It was so much. We were so glad to have you on board. And that's it for episode 3. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Hopefully after what you've actually done, the thing you've been procrastinating. So
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
bye.
Now, bye, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.
Exactly. Bye, guys.